This conference will now be recorded.
Okay guys, let's get started. So in the last session we discussed about the overview of SCCM. SCCM sites. There are three sites in SCCM: central administration site, primary site, and secondary site. Then we discussed about site roles like management point, distribution point, software update point, fallback status point, application catalog website point, web service point, SMS provider. So we discussed about those site roles. Then SCCM architecture, how the SCCM is implemented in big size companies, small size companies, and big size companies. Then we discuss about SCCM feature and functionalities, what all things you can expect when you implement SCCM in your company. Now these are the things which we discussed about SCCM in the last session. Now today what we are going to do is we will do this subscribe with Azure free trial. I hope everyone is already done that. So let's start from point number 2. So what do we need to do is we have to create a resource group in Azure data center. Okay, then we have to create virtual network, then 4 virtual machines, and we will put them on the same LAN network. So I'm just giving you a pictorial understanding so that you can understand what we have planned so far. So what do we need to do is there are multiple data centers in Azure, right? I think I have taken the bigger one. Okay, so Microsoft has many data centers all over the globe. Okay, some are located in Asia Pacific, some are located in Americas, some are located in Europe, some are located in Australia. Almost all continents, right? There are 60 countries where Microsoft has got its data center in 60 countries. Okay, so let's say one data center is located in East US, another one is in West US, right? Then another one is in let's say Brazil, right? Then you have a data center located in Indonesia. We'll be taking Indonesia because that is little cheaper and that gives more feature than other data center. Another one is in, let's say, Mumbai, then London, for example, Paris and Hyderabad. So multiple data centers are located in multiple countries. Now we have to choose our data center. Okay, so which one we have to choose? So we are going to choose the data center which is little cheaper to us and closest to us. Okay, so Indonesia is not closest, but it has more feature, and we can create 4 virtual machines in this data center. Other data center is little expensive, so that's the reason we need to go to Indonesia. Now let me just go to this one, Indonesia data center. For example, if you go to Indonesia data center, then how will you, what all things you will get in that data center? So data center is like a big building, guys, right? And in that building there are multiple rooms available. Okay, and in multiple rooms you will have multiple racks, you know, each, for example, this is the rack, In each rack, you have multiple hardware, like n number of hard drives will be there. Then you will have RAM, then you will have a processor, right? Multiple other things will be there. So you can choose your rack, okay, and create your virtual machines and virtual network. So first thing first, so let's say I am going to choose this one, okay, this is the one. So first thing first, what we have to do is we need to create a resource group. Resource group is a container in Azure, okay. So container which contains resources, so that all the resources can be kept into one container, okay. So we need to create a container. Then the second thing is we need to create a virtual LAN network, okay, VNet LAN network. That will be a separate isolated network. Nobody else will have access to that network because this is a public data center. So this can be used by any other people as well, right? Other people also using this data center. So we are going to create a VNet LAN network, virtual network. That will be an isolated network. And on that network, we will be creating virtual machines, 4 virtual machines, and we will have to connect all those virtual machines onto that LAN network. So we have to have 4 VMs, okay. These are the steps what we are going to do in Indonesia data center. I hope you guys understood, everyone. Arfat, Muhammad, Nusrat, all good?
Yep.
Abu?
Yeah, all
Okay.
good, all good.
Okay, so I'm gonna make somebody as a presenter, and then we have to do this practically, okay? So I'm gonna make somebody as a presenter. What's up? You there? Or Arafat? Let me make Arafat as a presenter. Arafat, did you get my request? You need to share your screen. Okay, so first thing first, what you need to do is you need to go to Azure portal, that is portal.azure.com. portal.azure.com. Yeah, okay, very good. So you have already created your account, and that is for 30 days free trial, right? In 30 days we get somewhere around 200 US dollar, and that 200 US dollar we will be utilizing that particular amount to create our resources. So first thing first, as you see, there are multiple things in favorite. Let me just take control, Arafat. Can you give me control, please? Did you get a prompt to share the control?
Yes, yes. You hear
Did
me?
you share the control? I still do not have control. Can you click on that go to meeting icon down at the bottom next to word icon? Yeah, now I have control, I think. Yes. Okay, so first thing first, what we have to do, is there are multiple things at the left hand side in favorite, right? Can I take the control, Arfad? You can minimize that one, the go to meeting. Yeah. Can I take the control? Okay, so first thing first, you see at the left hand side you have multiple things here. All resources, then you have resource group, then quick start center, app services, functions app, right? So these things are not needed here. It is like little crowded here. So what we have to do is we need to remove the unwanted things here. So let's go to all services. You can also do the same thing side by side, everyone. You need to go to all services, right? And then we have to remove the star from the things which we don't need. Okay, so first thing first, we don't need this all resources, so I'm going to remove the star mark from here. So the moment you do that, it will be gone from here. Okay, the second one, cost plus billing, so I just removed that one and that's gone from the list. Similarly, quick start center. Okay, so I'm going to remove that one. Then function app is not needed. Then app services, not required. There are other things which we have to remove, so I can just type in like database. You can also search on the top in this and then remove this SQL database and Azure Cosmos DB. Plus I need to remove a storage account, so I'm going to remove this storage account, advisor, monitor, and then Azure Active Directory. Then I don't need this load balancers. Okay, then security center is not required, and the last one, this one, help plus support. So we just removed the unwanted links from favorite. Okay, so it is now little less crowded. We only have resource groups, virtual machines, and virtual network. These are the three things we have left. Now we also need couple of more things, so I'm going to go to this all services and look for one disk. Okay, plus snapshot. So we need 5 things: resource group, virtual machine, virtual network, disk, and snapshot. These are the 5 things are required for SCCM lab setup. Okay, anyone left behind, let me know. Now the first thing first is we have to create a container resource group, so that all the resources in whatever the resources we are going to create, we can put all those containers into that particular container. In Azure, whatever the things we have, like the network, subnet, virtual machines, these are called resources. Okay, so we have to have a container or resource group to put all the resources into that particular container. So first thing first, we have to go to resource group and choose create resource group. Now the name of the resource group, anything of your choice. Okay, I'm going to name it as RG_SEA, resource group located in Southeast Asia data center. Okay, RG resource group _ Southeast Asia, and the location, everyone, you need to choose Southeast Asia. This is Indonesia. Make sure you choose this one, because this is a little cheaper than other data center. You can have maximum 4 computers in free trial in this data center. So Southeast Asia, and then click on review plus create, and then create. So that's the first thing what we had to do, resource group, and that is done. If you just refresh, so the container is ready, rg_sea, and the free trial is the subscription, and the location is Southeast Asia. Okay, now the second thing what we have to do, we need to create an isolated network so that nobody else will have access to that particular network. We will be connecting our virtual machines onto that particular network. So we need to go to virtual network, right? And let's create a network cable. So we'll have to go to this create virtual network. Now the network name, what name would you like to keep for this network? Anything of your choice. You can go with VNet_SEA. So this network will be located in Southeast Asia data center. Okay. Now address space. So like a bigger umbrella, like class A or class B or class C IP address space. So anything of your choice, like you can give a 192 IP address or 10.10. something. So depends on you, which one would you like to take. I'm gonna go with the simple one, 10.10.0.0/16. That means in this network I can have maximum 65,536 IP address. That's the maximum IP address in this space. Like an umbrella, inside that umbrella you can have multiple IP address, 65,536. So the IP, let me just open a notepad. So first thing what we have done is create resource group, and that is done, guys. The second thing what we did is we have not done what we are going to create. So create virtual network, anything of your choice, class A, class B, class C, IP or IP range. For example, the IP range starts from 10.10. So we have taken like 0.0/16. So that means it will start we can distribute this into multiple subnet, the 65,536 IP address, right? This is the total number of IP address in this network. So we can distribute it into multiple subnet. The first subnet will be 10.10.1.0, right? The second subnet one will be 10.10.2.0. Third one will be 10.10.3.0. So it will keep on going, right? So it will keep on going to 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. The last subnet will be 10.10.255.0. Understood, guys? Everyone? Any question? Anyone? So we are going to create the first subnet. And what is the first subnet? That is 10.10.1.0, right? Because we have received like 65,536 IP address, and we have to create multiple subnet. This 65,000 can be divided into multiple subnet. The first subnet is 10.10.1.0. So let's go to the Azure portal, and so it is going to be the subscription is free trial, and I'm gonna, since it is a resource, I need to put that into the container, the one which we have created, rg_sea, and the location is Southeast Asia. Everything will be in Southeast Asia, guys. Okay, we cannot choose multiple locations. It has to be only one location where everything will be placed. Then subnet, the first subnet, let's say subnet number 1. What will be our first subnet? That is 10.10.1.0, right? So the first subnet is 10.10.1.0/24. Then you see it has 256 IP address in this range. So we can start providing IP address to the computers like 10.10.1.1, then 2, then 3, then 4. It will keep on going to the last one, 255. So that is the range we have here. So starting from 10.10.1.1 to 10.10.1.256. So this has got nothing to do with SCCM, guys. This is the network. Every company, you know, has to have a private network. So we are creating a private network. So this network will be accessed by only, we will be accessing this network. Nobody else will have permission to access this network. So I'm going to click on create. So this is going to create the virtual network. So that's the second thing, right? Now, the third point, so we completed point number 2. So third point is we need to create 4 virtual machines. And the machine name will be, the first machine name will be domain. The second one will be your database. Third one will be your SCCM primary site server. And the fourth one will be your Windows 10 computer, the client one. These are the 4 virtual machines we have to create. Domain, database, SCCM PS, and Windows 10. These will be the blank computers. The 3 domain, database, and SCCM, these will be your servers, right? Windows server, and Windows 10 will be your client computer. So that's the point number 3. So let's wait for this network to get ready, because we have to connect all these 3 computers onto that network, the network which we have created, right? So all the computers will be communicating on the same LAN network which we just created. So yeah, that's done. You see, VNet_SEA resource group, it is connected to that particular container, and the location is Southeast Asia, and the subscription is free trial. So the network is ready, guys. Now the next thing what we have to do is we need to go to virtual machine, and we need to create our virtual machines. The first virtual machine will be your domain. It's going to be a blank server, and we have to give the name of that server as domain. Okay, so I'm going to click on add. So this resource, this virtual machine is also a resource. So we have to add this resource into a resource group. So you need to select that resource group, rg_sea. That is the resource group which we have to take. And the virtual machine name, domain. Okay, that's the virtual machine name. And then if you go down, that's located in Southeast Asia. So we'll leave that as it is. Everything will remain as it is except this image. You see, it is Ubuntu server. We are not choosing Ubuntu. We need to take the Windows server. So we have to choose this drop down, and you can take Windows Server 2016, 19, 2012. That depends on you, which one you would like to take. You can take 2019 or 16. That's not a problem. But the only thing is 2019 and 16 need more processor and memory. They consume more processor and memory. And 2012 consumes less memory and processor. Because if you choose this 2012, for example, or 2016 or or 19, you get one CPU and 3.5 gigabyte of RAM. You can also increase that one, that's not a problem, but you have to pay extra. Understood? One CPU and 3.5 gigabyte of RAM. So if you compare the if you compare the functionality of 2012 and 2016 in one CPU and 3.5 gigabytes, so 2012 runs faster than that particular thing, the 2016 one. So you may go with 2016 or 2012, that's not a problem. I'm going to go with 2016 for domain controller. Okay, the username, for example, this is going to be Iqbal. That is the username. We have to create a user ID and password to log into this computer. And can you choose a password, please, Iqbal, in both these boxes?
Do you want me to just tell
Iqbal?
you the password?
Yes, you need to type in the password in password and confirm password box.
I think you're on somebody else's, Mirza's computer.
Rashid bhai, you can't do that one. I mean, you can share with me. This is Arfat.
Okay. Sorry, I am on Arafat's computer. Yeah. Arafat, sorry, I I was confused. Okay. Let me just type in. Let me ARFAT. And can you enter the password, please, Arafat?
Okay.
That password should be 12 character long password. Yeah, minimum 12 character long. And make a note of this password because this is the username and password we will be using to log into that computer. Okay, then scroll down and you need to choose this allow selected ports, the inbound ports. What is this inbound port? Basically, this computer will be on isolated network, but we have to remote into that computer. Otherwise, what we will have to do, you need to log into that computer physically, and that is not possible. We cannot go to Indonesia data center and log in physically. So we want to remote into this computer. So we have to expose one public inbound port, so that through that we can remote into that computer from anywhere. So let's click on allow selected port and choose the drop down and select 3389 RDP port. So RDP is the port through which you can remotely connect to that computer using public IP of that particular server. Understood? Click on review plus create. So it's gonna give you the cost of this server, how much it's gonna charge you hourly basis. You see, somewhere around 0.1450 US dollar per hour, not from your credit card. So don't worry about it. It is gonna charge you from the credit you got, the 200 US dollar in the free trial. When you log in for the first time, you get $200. So it is going to cost you from that particular credit, the 200 US dollar for the first 30 days. So if you keep this server turned on for 1 hour. So this is the amount you have to pay. Understood? Click on create. Any question in this virtual network and virtual machines, guys, so far? No question?
No.
Okay, good.
Actually, for the VNet, can it be IPv6 addresses or does it only accept IPv4?
You can also use IPv6 address, but IPv6 is hardly utilized anywhere. So that's the reason we are focusing on IPv4.
Okay.
When you create the virtual machine, it gets IPv6 plus IPv4 both. I'll show you both the network, IPv6 and IPv4 you will get in virtual machine. And either you keep both of them or you can disable IPv6. Okay, so now the domain computer is getting ready. Similarly, you have to repeat the same step for 2 more servers. So let's go back to virtual machines again. Click on virtual machine at the left hand side. Now the second virtual machine, that's gonna be database. So click on create virtual machine. Now you have to put this into the same resource group rg_sea and choose the virtual machine name that is going to be database. So this is another server, and that will be, give the first letter should be capital. Okay, database. Yeah, database. Very good. Now scroll down and choose Windows Server 2012 R2. This one, the image. Why we are taking 2012? Because that runs smoother, faster than 2016 in that 1 core processor and 3.5 gigabyte of RAM. Now the username and password. So you can choose the same username and password, Arafat, and the same password, what you have chosen for domain, so that you don't have to remember multiple passwords. And go no, don't review plus create, just go down. We have to remotely connect to this computer, otherwise you need to take Indonesia visa and then remotely connect to that computer. So choose this one and then RDPS, review plus create. So that's the second one, guys, database server. Now yeah, it's gonna cost you the same amount of this one, 0.1450, because we are using same memory and processor. Click on create. That's the second box. Now repeat the same step for the third box, that is SCCM PS, the primary site. These are like blank servers which we are creating, and we are naming them as domain, database, and the third one will be the SCCM PS. Let's go back to virtual machine again. Add, click on add and choose resource group as RG_SEA, and virtual machine name, the last server will be SCCM PS. Give capital letter SCCM PS, capital everything, so because it's a computer name, so SCCM PS primary site. Yes. Image Windows Server 2012 or 16 or 19, anything, but go with 2012. That's gonna run little faster. Same username and same password. RDP port. Review plus create. So this RDP port is needed, otherwise you have to you will not be able to log into that computer. Okay. Review plus create. So the third one is getting ready. Now the last one, that is Windows 10. So let's go back to virtual machine and create the last one. Click on virtual machine. The last box, click on add. And choose the resource group RG_SEA and the virtual machine name, anything of your choice, like client 1 or Win10, Windows 10, WIN10, Win10. Yes. Choose the image. No, don't take the server. That is the server. Windows 10 will be Windows 10, right? So choose Windows 10 image. Yes. Anything 1809 is the latest one. You can go with the latest one. Username, Arafat. No, small letter, please, because you have chosen small letter for all other servers. Yeah. And the password. The only change here is you need to go to change size. Just enter the password in both these boxes. Then I'll let you know what is the difference here. Now, so the only change here is you need to click on change size. No, wait. You go to change size up. You see it has 2 CPU and 7.5, 7 gigabyte RAM. Up the size. You see, you click on change size. And let me take the control. You need to take this one CPU and 3.5. This one D1_V2. D1_V2. Why? Because it is a little cheaper, $58 per month. Okay, so this is little cheaper, and we are going to take this one. 1 CPU and 3.5 gigabyte of RAM. Select that one and choose select. Yeah. Okay, and then go down and choose allow selected ports so that you can remotely connect to this computer. and RDP. No, you have not chosen the RDP. Yeah, yes. And now click on review plus create and create. It's gonna cost you this amount, 0.0789 per hour. Okay. Any question in this so far? Anyone? Okay. Chandra? Any question from your end? Chandra, I think you are using the local app. What is your status? Okay, you have done very good. In case if you face any challenges, let me know. Okay, guys. So we have, let me just go to the notepad and say done. So we have completed point number 3 as well. So first thing what we did, we created resource group, then we created virtual network, and then we created 4 virtual machines. Now the next point is we need to download and install remote desktop connection manager. Remote desktop connection manager. Remote desktop connection manager is a tool which helps you to connect to multiple computers simultaneously. Okay, so to download, I'm gonna go to a new tab and say download remote desktop connection manager. That's a free tool from Microsoft. You need to this one, download remote desktop connection manager 2.7 and choose download. Go down and choose download, please. And choose it's already downloaded. Let's click on RDC. No, it's downloaded left hand side bottom. RDC man.msi. Yeah, it's downloaded. You just have to install that application into this computer, right? Yeah. Next install. Accept next install. Okay, finish. So that's downloaded. Now just click on start and you will get a remote desktop connection. Click on start. Yeah, the second one. Very good. This is the application, guys, which we just installed, remote desktop connection manager. This is from Microsoft, and this is going to help us to remote into all the computers simultaneously. Now right click on the icon which is there on the taskbar and pin it to the taskbar, so next time you don't have to search for it. Taskbar down at the bottom. Now let me take the control. Okay, so I'll guide you. So we have to right click on this and choose pin to taskbar. So next time I can use this icon from the taskbar itself. Okay, now let's open that application, the remote desktop connection manager. Now click on file at the left hand side top and choose new. We have to create a new file, and the file name, anything of your choice, you just type in SCCM lab. SCCM lab and save. Very good. So did you save it? Yes. Now we have to add all our computers here one by one. All the 4 computers, whatever we have created so far, we need to add them all here. So let's go back to virtual machines in Azure portal and add all the public IP address here. So let's go to virtual machine at the left hand side. Now click on database. Click on database. On the name, yes, click on that. Now you see the public IP and private IP. The private IP, which is 10.10.1.5, the one which we created. Public IP is the one which we will be using to connect to that computer remotely. So the public IP has to be static, not dynamic. If you choose dynamic, then what will happen? It will keep on changing on its own. We don't want this IP to be changed. This has to be permanent IP. So let's click on this public IP.
Where is it?
At the right hand side, you see this one, public IP. Got it? You can see that public IP.
No, I didn't see anything.
Okay, let me just take the control and show you.
Yeah, I see.
Okay, this is the public IP. Let's click on that public IP.
Say the copy.
That is a private IP. Yeah, click on that public IP. Yeah. Now public IP has to be permanent. Okay, the same IP address we will be using all the time. We don't want this IP to get changed. So click on static and save. Save on top. Yes. And then copy this IP address 20.188.107.18. Copy that. No, just copy the IP. Okay, have you copied?
Yes.
Okay, let's go to the remote desktop connection manager. Yes, right click on SCCM lab and add server. And paste the IP address and server name. Very good. Now below, the display name will be different. We don't want to display the IP address. So change the display name below with database, because that public IP belongs to database server. So delete that and type in database. Very good. And click on add. So one by one, you have to repeat the same steps for all 3 pending computers. So go back to virtual machine again and go to virtual machine again. Click on virtual machine. Yeah. Now the second one is domain. So click on domain and get the public IP address from domain server. Make it static so that it won't change. Just click on that. make it static, and save. Okay, go back to that remote desktop connection manager and add your hmm,
Should I write
yeah,
domain?
yes, domain, that's the domain server. This one is SCCM, right?
Yes.
So save that, copy the IP address, save. Very good. This one is Windows 10. Make it static and save. Add. Very good. So we have added all these computers. Let's save this configuration. Click on File and choose Save SCCM Lab.rdp. Save, just save, yes. Okay. So the configuration will be as it is. Now, in order to connect to these computers, you just have to right click on each one of them and connect. Right click on, yeah, connect server. So it's gonna ask you for the username and password. Enter your username, the more choices, and you cannot use that account because that is Arafat Mirza. You have chosen Arafat and the password, so you have to go back to this one, more choices. Click on more choices. Just use different account and type in your username and password.
Select yes.
Yes. Okay. So you will get the prompt, username and password prompt to log into these computers. Okay. So you see these computers are connected. So for example, if you wanna log into this one, right? So this is your database server. Then the domain, this is your domain computer, and then SCCM PS and Windows 10 computer. All these are okay. So you have to choose a couple of things here, except okay. So all these computers are up and running now. Database, domain, SCCM, and Windows 10. All of them are on the same LAN network, and they are talking to each other, right? So that's done. So our servers and computers are ready. So what we have to do, we need to stop these computers, because if we don't do that, Microsoft will keep on charging you for unnecessary utilization. So you need to check all these boxes and choose stop. So after each session, make sure you stop it. When you stop it, it is the processor and RAM will be, whatever the hardware it is connected to these computers will be deallocated, and that will be freed up, so other people can utilize those resources. So, and we will not be charged during that time when when the computers are stopped. Okay, so when we stop it, you see these are disconnected, you cannot connect to them. So next time, before you join the session tomorrow, like 5 minutes before you join the session, you start them. Okay, understood? So that you can connect to these computers. Any question, anyone? Let me just share my screen and show you what we have done. So So what we did, we created a resource group. That's the first thing what we did, RG_SEA. And then the second thing is we created a virtual LAN network, right? And the network name was VNet_SEA. And the third is we created 4 virtual machines. That is DC domain, the second one database, SCCM PS, and Win10. And we connected all the computers to the same LAN network. These are the things which we have done today. Any question? Anyone? Arafat? Clear?
No.
Abu? Bakhtiar? Chandra? Wasaf? Nusrat?
No, I don't have any questions.
Okay, guys. So that was the today's agenda. What we have, what I had mentioned here in my day-wise course plan. As you see, the first thing, created resource group, then we created virtual network, and then we created 4 virtual machines, and we put them on the same LAN network. Today is 12th of September. I'm gonna send this to you on the WhatsApp group. Okay, guys. So tomorrow when we meet, we'll start creating our domain controller, and we'll join all the computers to the domain. So I'm gonna send this copy and send this to you on the WhatsApp group which we have created. Any question before we wrap it up?
Yeah, I actually have one question. I remember last class somebody mentioned about a book. So for the certification, is this class enough, or do we actually need the book to study for the certification? Like, are there any practice exams you provide, or?
I will give you the materials. Don't worry about it. You don't need any book. Okay.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Okay. Any other question before we wrap it up, guys? Okay, so we'll meet again same time tomorrow. Thank you for joining this session. I hope the session was informative. We'll meet again, guys. Thanks. Bye-bye.
Okay, thank you.